Welcoming you back to Crypto's Juiciest News, baby dolls. We're going to be speaking about Western Union, StableCoin SuperCycle, MicroStrategy, all of that coming your way, even with Do Kwon. Controversial. I think he should be let out of jail. Uncle Peter Schiff, Kevin O'Leary, aka Murderer. We'll speak more about that later. All of that coming your way. It's going to get really juicy today. But first, this is how the racist Russell 2000 closed. And of course,
don't be a stranger.
What else can we do?
Out here
waiting for the racist Russell 2000, huh?
No, out here
It's a mog or get mogged world. Racist Russell 2000 might be the key for the rest of this crypto cycle. Remember, 2,000 companies, 1,000 do not make money. So the fact that it is holding above previous 2021 highs, indicating an expansion is coming along the way, might be a big clue for the rest of the cryptocurrency industry and the altcoins and everything altogether that we know. The Bitcoin monthly candle, friends, this is us battling around $89,000 around the weekend. We don't have much else to do. News is quite tame now. We're moving through December. December's usually having some sort of Christmas rally, but everyone's been talking about it, so I wouldn't be surprised if things poop around. This is the Christmas rally that we've been waiting for. But what type of Christmas rally? It's basically we stopped going to zero. I think we can be thankful for that. On here as well, on this monthly chart, this box, friends, is where literally 40 crypto KOLs are expecting to buy the BTC. And this box is where absolutely zero crypto KOLs expect to buy BTC next year, which involves a breaking of the high. Even our crowd favorite, Tom Lee, has been buying Ethereum constantly. How's that going to work out, huh? It's Tom Lee versus 40 crypto KOLs. That's going to be one hell of a battle. This is the weekly chart of BTC. Notice it is holding the channel of friendship. And hopefully this channel of friendship continues to hold. And something I alerted to you, friends, in each crypto Bitcoin cycle, it seems to do fractals of itself throughout the cycle. So in 2019, Bitcoin had an up-only run, sinks down, black swan. Okay? And then it actually repeated that again in 2021. It had an up-only run without stopping, sinks around, black swan, China ban Bitcoin. So that's exactly what it was like. They're very interesting, right? You can even go back as well. Even if you go back, friends, I even go back to 2013. This was the Bitcoin behavior. The behavior was go up forever. All right, ban the red candles, go up forever, explode, and then kaput. And then funny, the double bubble alt season and everything here, it went up only again and exploded. Then we have Mount Gox. Very interesting, right? It is very interesting how the fractals of itself, unique to the cycle, repeat. In 2017, it was grind up forever and hug the 21 EMA. Grind, all around the 21 EMA. So each theme is unique to each cycle. And what's the one we have now? Remember, this is totally subjective. It's just something I'm observing, but I'm long with you. There's a lot of cope. This is what we seem to be seeing in our crypto cycle. Bitcoin goes up, stays at its channel. Everyone pings around the channel, and at the very end, everyone thinks it's over. When you get to the end of the channel. September FUD. Boom. And then it goes up. Then we have the Bitcoin spot ETF. We came into a channel and we had Japan Pokemon Crisis right here. Boom. We went up after. it felt like it was over. Now we're in a channel of friendship again. Ping, 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 ping. And here we have 4-year cycle FUD. Miski index removal FUD. JP Mosquito manipulation FUD. Is this going to end with some sort of kaput? We'll see. We'll see. It's up to the gods. Another friendly reminder, we must always look at Ethereum on its Bitcoin ratio. This is the key. It's holding above its weekly super trend. It's still undervalued. The Ethereum spot ETF launched right here at 0.055. So even if ETH comes back and makes its way to the spot ETF, you've now just come back to kind of like a fair value for it. I hope it continues to go up higher. The optimistic case for crowd favorite Charmley, the optimistic case, friends, is he doesn't even think Ethereum will flip Bitcoin at this ratio. He thinks it's going to go to 0.25 all the way up here. Look, I know crazy things have happened in crypto, but my gosh, that would, if an event like that happened, even if just matching BTC in market cap, it would literally break the internet. It would break the entire crypto industry. Crypto, I remember showing you an interview with him. He said 0% chance that ever happens. He goes, but if that did happen, he would have to switch his whole portfolio into 90% Ethereum if that happened. So I'm just to give you an idea of all the Bitcoin maxis who would be Ethereum buyers if that happened. Now, I also want to show you the OTHERS-btc chart. Very important, the ratio of altcoins to BTC on a monthly. It is still holding here. The MACD flipping from red to green is like very, very, very close. It just needs one little thrust up. Hopefully, Ethereum continues to lead the way. And then Ethereum's not in this others index because this is outside top 10, but it would be a step in the right direction and it will give everybody risk on sentiment. Something else we've got to be looking at, the Bitcoin dominance. This is the weekly chart. The Bitcoin dominance is in complacency. This was euphoria. This was so much euphoria, friends. Up here, you had Willy Woo himself say, Bitcoin dominance is going to 90%. He said it's over. There are no altcoin value. Ben Copen calling for 80%. Okay. Every single person calling for extreme prices up here. And now that it's come down here, they are complacent. Right? Because even Willy Woo believes we're in a bear market. Copen believes we're in a bear market. They are all complacent. They all strongly believe we just need to cool off for the next rally. What does cool off mean? It means, oh, we just need to wait a bit. And then as next year rolls on, altcoins will go to zero and Bitcoin will be the one and only thing going up. But we have a lot of things coming our way next year. More StableCoin SuperCycle adoption. Charles Schwab. Vanguard, $23 trillion. The door opens. We found more buyers. Remember, the bull market ends. You run out of buyers. That's a big thing. We also have, friends, not only just Tom Lee continuously buying StableCoin SuperCycle, massive adoption stuff, a lot of things coming our way. A lot. We have Paulie Boo Atkins, the SEC chairman. They're fast tracking a lot of ETFs. They're going to have like 150 altcoin ETFs or something ridiculous next year. Fast track for everyone. And when they have the ETFs, hopefully we can eventually get the Crypto 20 index, where they make an index for people who just want to punt crypto and not look at like 50 coins, which would be a very, very big godsend for everyone in the industry. And why is that? It's because if that becomes popular, people will be buying crypto as a big crypto index. It will no longer be forced into Bitcoin, forced into this. So it would be quite monumental. Speaking of monumental, let's crank it.
Let's take it back to a time when we were so much in love, baby. Ooh, yeah.
Now, been a very, very tough cycle so far. 37 months of depression. We were even speaking in Telegram, friends, yesterday. We were asking, Sammy, why 37 months? What happened? I wish I had answers. There's only one thing that could have possibly caused it. Jim Cramer secretly got bullish on us. Okay? This level of cursing, unprecedented. I mean, the Great Depression was 30 months, bro. The Great Depression. Unemployment soup lines. Unemployment went to 17%. It wiped out 17 years of the silent generation. No one wanted to invest forever again. The Great Depression. So, sirs and madams, the Great Depression, we were on a gold money standard. They could only expand the money supply by 2%. So when everything collapsed, they were helpless. And you know, they were so clueless in the Great Depression. Do you know when things were going down? Do you want to know what the first thing they did was? They hiked interest rates. You're like, what? Hiking interest rates? What the hell? Yeah, because we didn't have like all these economics and internet stuff back then. Remember in the 1920s, friends, you were feeding your kids like little Heinz ketchup beans, but the beans were like laced with uranium. You had no idea what the hell was going on. But why? Why did they do that? Well, it was because they thought, they got, well, there's a crisis here. They said, if we raise interest rates, it will incentivize people to go get a job and make money and save money for their future. You see, it kind of makes sense at the time. But the hiking of interest rates didn't do anything. And then they had to reverse all of it into the Great Depression. Now let's check out the Bitcoin price action zone. $89,000. Hanging around here. The next stop is the gay bear zone. The dead cat bounce. Nobody will be trusting anything around here because it could fail like all the others. We'll see. Something funny I want to tell you as well, friends, a bit off the cuff here. Not really. There's some maths teacher. I don't know how he got it, but he uploaded some of his like seminars to Pornhub. You know that website? Shows a lot of people are fornicating, pre-marriage, a lot of the combinations of genitals and stuff, you know. And I signed up to it. It's kind of funny. I signed up to Pornhub because I wanted to try upload juicy news. I thought that'd be really funny. Imagine I was just uploading juicy news on Pornhub. The problem is, it's not so easy. Okay, they've got to prove that, you know, there's some adult material there. And they got to prove like a lot of ID. It's actually quite strict, which kind of sucks. Because I'm just trying to spread the word out there. But yeah, it's kind of funny, friends. A lot of these things, you really do see it, friends. That no matter what you do, you have all these ideas for marketing or outreach. It doesn't matter. 99.99% of the time, it actually doesn't matter. What actually just does matter is the price. You know, the price, friends. If you check out my YouTubes. Right, the numbers here. How many videos have I made now? 6,155. It's extremely frustrating. Okay, price goes up, we're all watching. Price goes down, 50% quit. It's like that. I don't blame you. You know, no one wants to look at stuff when prices are going down. It's a direct correlation. Everything's correlated to the price, man. Everything. There's no. You don't get this like, oh, price is down, but like there's this big data point that is like very clearly up. You don't get that. They all move the same. They all move the same. The best thing you can get is a divergence if you really track it. You know, like you even use an RSI divergence, but there is no free lunch. Wouldn't it be nice if there's a magical world where you had this fundamental indicator and then everything goes down? And yeah, it's not. The fundamentals we look at, it's subjective. Charles Schwab, Vanguard, 23 trillion. StableCoin SuperCycle. Scott Bessent saying we're going to get 2 trillion stablecoins. Okay. Kevin Hassett saying we need to keep cutting rates next year. You know what I mean? Like you're looking at them, but you still got to envision the future. So I just wanted to let you know that's in crypto. There is no free lunch. You don't get this mad indicator peaking and then everything else is low for you to get in. You know, I've been looking this whole time. We just don't, right? That's why it's all about the long-term macro trend. Now, very, very quietly, the US dollar, friends, the DXY, it's red on the daily super trend, right? On the weekly, it's actually still red. It's actually still red, right? And I found that fascinating, okay? You got every bear, I mean every gay bear, blockchain backer, trader main, everyone, trading, non-trading, they all believe strongly that the US dollar is making a bottoming structure and it will smash up. They all believe that. And I found that interesting. The last 2 weeks have been red. So I wonder if this thing can continue lower. Remember, there's 360 trillion debt in the world. 360. 180 is US debt. 180. So the DXY is the US dollar power, right? If the US dollar goes up, you know, all that debt, it's more powerful. You owe a lot more. And that's why risk on assets, they crush. Stocks crush, everything's dampened, okay? But when the US dollar is getting weaker, it's getting weaker against all the other nations' currencies. They have more money to pay off the debt. And it acts like an interest rate stimulus. Donald Trump needs the US dollar reducing down. He does. Because when the US dollar reducing is down, the US is competitive, you know? The US can make squeaky chairs and cardboard boxes and all the other joys of life. They can make them more competitive and sell them to the world. Another thing as well, friends. Remember, the copper-gold ratio is very important, all right? Copper, industrial metal. Gold-based money. When copper's going up, the economy's heating, all right? The economy's heating. The economy's heating. The economy's heating. PMI goes up. We have just seen this was actually Trump saying copper's going to get taxed. Everything went down. He was reading man Year of the Snake. This was just quite wild. So we have not seen a heating up period. Okay. When it heats up, prices reflect expensive. But you don't know what expensive is going to be, right? Like XRP might be $5. That might be expensive, you know. But Hex might be 50 cents, even though everyone thinks it's going down to zero forever. Pretty much is at zero. That's funny. You see what I mean? You have to take what you get from the market. But I don't think we've been getting anything yet. Having a quick look at Pulse Chain. It's been an overall shit show. Red prices. Nothing to see here. Hopefully better times ahead. Now, here comes the juicy news. Western Union is launching a stable card and its own coin to protect remittances in high inflation economies. StableCoin SuperCycle. Boom! Do you know Western Union, fans? Do you want me to show you their chart? Western Union, they have been not making any money on their stocks for 18 years. They're down 62% after 18 years. So obviously Western Union has been taken out by crypto. Okay, new payment solutions. First it was PayPal and crypto and stuff. Okay, but they're going to release their own stablecoin card. Very interesting. That's funny. See, friends, to say crypto is like in a bear market, I'm just thinking, man, like you literally have companies joining. Okay. Western Union have now opened the door. They make their own stablecoin. They're joining crypto. Right? They're adding to the StableCoin SuperCycle. They're empowering the US who want to be more incentivized to join crypto more. You see? That's what's been happening to save their company. Also, this is competing against XRP. Because XRP was meant to take on Western Union. Well, Western Union fans, they're using like Ethereum tech. They make their own stable coin. Then they'll use that to go buy US treasuries and get bonds. And they'll just offer it to their customers to transfer money international. Very interesting, right? XRP was meant to be the standard that replaces it, but Ethereum technology was just better. But still, I hope XRP pumps. That's very, very important. Also, friends, on XRP, I've got a friend. He's a joiner. He's a tradie. He randomly told me yesterday, out of nowhere, he goes, all my other tradie friends this week, they all bought into XRP. They've never touched crypto before. Wild. They all bought into XRP, friends. And funny enough as well, they lined up to buy gold and silver. Yeah. How random is that? Friends, they don't know anything about crypto. They're tradies. They're eating like sausage rolls, hands always dirty, dust in their eyes. I don't know what compelled them. They all just decided we got to get XRP. And then we got to get gold and silver. Man, like, it's just... I don't know what to think about that. I hope it's not a top signal for like XRP or anything. But you know, friends, I'll show you something on XRP. This is interesting. Blockchain backer, okay? Blockchain backer, friends, what he does is he uses the Ghost Fractal. If I show you now, he uses the Ghost Fractal of XRP in the last cycle, and he uses it here. Okay. However, this is something to let you think of. He does not use the chart like this. Okay. He doesn't use it like that, which is interesting. So what I've done is I've matched Euphoria with Euphoria. Okay. I've matched Euphoria with Euphoria. He does not use it like this. What he does is he moves the complacency rally. So if you look at this, friends, see this? This is Euphoria, complacency. It's over. All right. That's like normal bull market cycle stuff. So what he's done is he has moved the complacency part and he moved it upwards. Okay. And he's actually got this like massively getting crushed into the future. Something like that. That's what he's done. He's matched complacency like this. So that's why he expects, like, you know, XRP is going to capitulate hard all the way down. I found that interesting. I remember looking at his fractal. I'm like, man, why do you... Man, you're calling for $10 XRP. Then he just rugged everyone. Now he's saying 30 cents. So that's what he's done. So I want to know. I want to get down. Like, why? How's it actually come that? So he got the fractal. Instead of putting Euphoria with Euphoria, he went to the complacency part. And then he dragged up the complacency to fit it. And he stretched it out. So look, I don't know what happens, friends. But look, I'll be honest. XRP, it did have what you would call a Euphoria run. It did a big 7 or 7x. You know, can this capitulate down lower? It can. But does that mean everything else has to? Not necessarily. You know, friends, XRP, keep it a family friendly as well. Its price action is actually very weak compared to other altcoins. So, do you see here? This is when Bitcoin rallied up. Bitcoin like rallied up here and it was like that. XRP round trip the whole move. XRP is actually bartered. All right, so I wonder if like XRP got the good move up. Now it kind of suffers because it's got to retrace it. Whereas with the rest of us, we never even got the good up part. We're still in struggle land, so we'll see. Now let's crack on. We have the second worst Q4 for Bitcoin. Here is the table. Here's the table right here, friends. So the second worst Q4 for Bitcoin. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. 21%. And then last time we had a bad Q4, bro. Friends, Bitcoin did 100x in this cycle. Literally 100x. And in that 2018, we had double bubble alt. I was going to say alt reason. Double bubble altcoin pump. Okay. We had Ethereum doing 4,500x. So you're like, okay, you got the worst one because you got the best one. But for some reason, we just got a dog shit move. And here we are again with the worst, second worst Q. This is disgusting, by the way. Absolutely atrocious. You know why this is actually the worst Q4 in history? If you measure Bitcoin's upside and its movement, that's the worst. Yeah, because Bitcoin's not moving 100x anymore, man. It went from 180 bucks to 20 grand. Doesn't do that anymore. Very, very sad. I think all we need to do is to do some more proof of candle lighting. Here we go, friends. We're lighting the candle every single day. We are here to believe. That's all we got. That's all we got, okay? And you're not sad, man, friends. This is with Bitcoin ETF, okay? This is with the US government on your side. SEC. Oh, man. This is just markets. Welcome to markets. They just kick you in the nuts. MicroStrategy ranks 5th when compared to Smelly Poop 500 companies. So, Berkshire Hathaway, all these, 340 billion. Amazon, 397 billion. 97 billion in cash. Google, 95. Microsoft, 95. MicroStrategy, 71. So, but yeah, it is, you know, it's a bit of a joke. They compare the Bitcoin with the same as cash. Okay, that's what they do. Because we all know Bitcoin's volatile, right? Your cash doesn't lose like, you know, 70% of value in freaking 15 seconds. Unlike this freaking Ponzi industry. But also, that's why there's a lot of controversy, right? Because JP Mosquito and Wall Street, they want to kill MicroStrategy. They want their Bitcoin. They want to put them out of the index. So then their companies and their Bitcoin-backed bonds get all the money. Check this out. US prosecutors say Terraform Labs' Do Kwon from Terra Luna should receive 12 years in prison for the colossal fraud between 40 billion Terra Luna corrupt. His sentencing is scheduled for December 11th in New York. Now, friends, you know me, okay? I've got raw peg nipples. I've got straight posture. I've got pointy elbows. We all know that. I don't want to do this, but I have to do this. Let's look at Trump coin. Okay? Let's look at Trump coin. Trump coin is down only. All right? Trump coin is down only 92%. Melania also down only. That's my lady. 99%. Okay. This is Trump coin, friends. I wonder if they have Trump market cap. Okay, here it is. Trump, friends. Trump's market cap is fully diluted 5.7 billion. Okay. At the top, what did I get to? 70 bucks. So if you do 70 on 5, 14 times 5, 70 billion market cap at the top. Trump lost more market cap value than Do Kwon by a long shot. Very interesting. So, you know, what's actually going on here? Well, I've explained some videos about it. The truth is, friends, the truth is, Do Kwon, he crossed the line. And what is it? The line was he desecrated the US dollar. Okay? That's a big no-no. You do not go out and call the US dollar certain names while providing another US dollar that you promise to give US dollar yield. You can't do that. That is the big no-no. Whenever the US government fast-track FBI raids and they take down Ponzi's like from Russia and just random places, a common theme I've noticed this. No one else will tell you this. If you go to their websites, right, you'll find somewhere on the website, a lot of these Ponzi things, they will promise yield in US dollars. Okay? Like elephant money and stuff out here. So that is the big no-no. You must be very, 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 very careful with your words. Okay? If you write US denominated yield, you're finished. Anywhere on the website. Finished. They'll come for you. They'll come for you. Doesn't matter where you are. They'll find you. That's also why on Hex website, Richard Hart made it very, very, very clear. It's Hex terms. Hex denominated. Very important to know. Also, very controversial, but not really. He does not deserve 12 months in prison, bro. The amount of rugging and thieving and conniving and dog shit and stealing and evil satanic trash that has not only happened to me and to you and to us and is still happening today in the crypto industry. But here's the thing, friends. Do Kwon, he tried to add value. He really thought it would work. He bought Bitcoin with the funds to hold it as a treasury. He didn't keep it for himself. He tried to back it. Still didn't work. So right now they're just like, hey, buy this coin. They just rug you immediately. At least you go out of their way to steal. So what he's doing, it's complete. It's absolutely nothing. And also, while we're in the mood for anarchy, because of this 37-month Great Depression, feels like an ultimate curse. I'm very, very saddened by the lessons that everybody has learned for 5 years. Steal, sell on everyone, dump, don't believe in anything, steal, 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 take from everybody, give nothing, do OTC deals, grift your audience, lie, make bullshit fake guides, sell airdrop farming grifts, sell pump fund trading grifts, continue the lying, fabricate everything, gaslight your audience. Oh, you should have went and bought Zcash. Oh, you should have went and bought Solana at $300, even though I told you it's going to 1,000. But then you should have sold it at 150 because I have this random super trend indicator that you should be paying thousands of dollars for that tells you to flip bearish now. Just keep taking 50% losses on your whole stack. And I'll just cherry pick the one and remove all the times you would have lost money and then tell you should be signing up to me. So the state of the industry, man, we need some sort of cleansing. I just don't know how we do the cleansing. France's third bank, BPCE, to allow customers to buy and sell Bitcoin, Ethereum, soy, and USD CUC. Wonderful. StableCoin SuperCycle is confirming. Plus, we're finding more buyers, more customers, more banks. Maybe by the end of this cycle, we see that every bank is allowed crypto trading, and then we've run out of buyers. Anti-crypto Peter Schiff challenges President Pump to a debate on the US economy after Trump called him a loser. There you go. Let's play some Pumpy G music. Very interesting, right? Very interesting. Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary, aka ex-murderer. Most of his altcoins, what I call poo-poo coins, are done. Only Bitcoin and Ethereum will survive. So Kevin O'Kramer, you don't want to be on his same side. Remember 2021? Remember he was shilling FTX. He was shilling FTX so hard before the crash, after the crash, and then it ended up leaking from the FTX database. He was getting paid like 10, 12, 15 million to do that. Okay. Bitcoin and Ethereum, yeah, they're great, but the business cycle is so low. When it goes up, I don't think people are buying Bitcoin and Ethereum as much. There will be, but nowhere near as much. Like, friends, you got to understand, okay, logically. People's nuts and ovaries have been squeezed by major loser Powell, who's scum, for 4% interest rates. Major loser scum Powell. They're crushed. Inflation's too high. They printed 40% money supply for zombie virus planned by the R child anyway. So, look, when they come into crypto, not if, but when, I want you to think. There's only one of two things they can do. They buy Bitcoin and Ethereum because they're safe. Or do they look at their portfolio? They've got $4,000 of savings. They've realized they've been crushed for 5 years. Yeah. What do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to buy Bitcoin at like 180,000 and then Ivan on text telling him it's going to 1 million, but then he sells at like 201,000 and tells them it's over? Do you think they're going to do that again? Huh? What about every other crypto? You think they're going to do that again? Well, history suggests they don't do that. History, not her story, his story. They tried to ban the word history, by the way, the woke agenda in classrooms because of the word his story. It's a true story, right? History says Main Street, when they come into crypto, they got $5,000. And the first thing they look at is they go, Bitcoin's 150. I can't afford that. Even though you can buy a part of it. Right? What they usually do is they've got like their friend's grandma's dog pet groomer. And he put like, $3,000 into a random coin and now it's 30,000. So now that everybody gets FOMO. And so begins the flywheel of alt season. That's what's happened in the past. I don't know if it's going to happen again. Logically, it feels like that would happen. It feels like it. Okay? Because the inflation gap is so wide because they printed so much money and they've not fed Main Street. There's no bread and circus. So the gap, the wider the gap, people are looking at what they have to do to get back on the ladder. They don't say, I will now accept I must save in Bitcoin. They don't actually say that. They never say that. In fact, they just become more incentivized to go further down the risk curve. And hopefully that involves friendship as well. So Kevin O'Leary, friends, can't trust him. Very, very slimy. So where does that bring us to today? Racist Russell 2000 is very, very promising. That's good. And ultimately, there are two camps, right? Bitcoin, because it went up first, and a lot, it broke its trend line down. Total crypto is still on track for its trend line. Total crypto is still on track. Bitcoin broke down, all right? But total crypto is holding. So the whole crypto industry, they are basically this genius meme that I've made. Concerned about bear market award. I love 50-week moving average. Ask me about 4-year cycle. No. Holding crypto long term. How I see the world after. Selling after down minus 40%. So those are all the 450 crypto KOLs in a nutshell. Okay? Wonder who's going to win. I've already accepted it in my heart. It's been pathetically bad for 37 months. It was bad at month 12. Now we're on month 37. We're watching it every single day. Okay? So one of two things can happen next year, friends. Maybe it is another bear market. And then we got to reset and it's another 5 years before we go up. Okay, I've accepted it. But what if it's not? What if Tom Lee's right? What if Ethereum breaks $5,000? Okay, we're in a whole new paradigm by then. Let's see. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.